Yeah, welcome in. We've got a karaoke morning show drive for you with Paul Ratliff starring this morning. Already
lip syncing, baby.
Lip syncing over there.
That's right.
Yeah, not actual karaoke. He doesn't want to torture our listeners this early in the show.
Torture them.
That'll come in about 5 minutes.
That's right. That happens every day, so we can wait a little bit.
That's right. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here on the Fan Sports Network, and we are ready to go on a Throwdown Thursday. Lots to get to today. Just a ton to get to. I woke up kind of a little bit, I don't want to say heartbroken, because that's a strong word. Isn't heartbroken a strong word? I woke up a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit sad. I said this yesterday, but I was talking to my wife last night, and I went back and looked at a couple things, and I have not been to Rice-Eccles Stadium I've been to Rice-Eccles Stadium to call a state championship game for 18 straight years, Paulie. Can you believe that?
It's a lot of years.
And for a state championship game, not a semifinal, state championship game, and the streak is broke today.
Yeah.
And all good streaks come to an end, right?
Yeah.
Like Paulie in college, those last about 30 seconds, then they get arrested. All the streaks come to an end.
He made it to the quad.
I thought you were talking about something else. All right.
I did too.
I knew you would go there.
Snoop-a-loop.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So
So did you hear that Region 9 football? You broke Devin Dixon's heart.
Yes.
I know.
Yes. Gosh darn it. I like streaks. I like being there. Probably the greatest state championship game of all time. Certainly the best that I've ever called last year.
Yeah.
Paulie, you have to concur with that. You were there with me.
Yes, I would. Absolutely.
And remember how much fun we had in that fourth quarter comeback? I mean, laughing about it. What if they do this? What, joking around in the breaks like it's not over. Watching, the graphics go up on KJazz of the player of the game from Spanish Fork, and then having Crimson come back and win the game and going, whoopsie, we played that graphic too soon.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they did play the graphic. They kind of jumped the gun there.
Yeah, but not making the trip up today. We'll be taking in a little bit of it, bits and pieces, probably on the live stream, KSLSports.com. The 4A championship game, I am intrigued to see if Green Canyon can keep it close. I think that's the intrigue for me. I don't think they can beat Ridgeline.
I didn't think they would beat Crimson either.
No, I did. I agree, and that's why I'm interested. That's the focus point, right? Like, maybe this team really just had a bad start to the season when they were 5-5. And maybe they're as advertised in the playoffs, and you got to give that coaching staff a lot of credit for getting them there. I mean, they went through 3 Region 9 football teams.
Right, yeah.
3 knocked out Desert Hills in the first round, then knocked out Snow Canyon on the road, and then, knocked out Skyline, and then knocked out Crimson in the semifinals, the 2-time defending state champs.
Right, yeah.
So I hate picking against Green Canyon. It's just Ridgeline is a juggernaut.
Yeah, I think that Ridgeline's kind of like, it has inklings of the Orem team of years ago, where from week 1, you already said they were going to win the championship. With the Orem team with Puka and Noah Sewell and Kingsley Suamatia and all those guys, like, you just knew that team was going to win. Sometimes the better horses win, and that Orem team was loaded, and this Ridgeline team is loaded. Yeah. So I would say if I was picking objectively, I'm thinking Ridgeline by at least 3 touchdowns in this game.
Wow.
2 to 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and then that's what Crimson was favored by last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think Perry's Power Guide had a 19-point power rating differential, if you follow that and you know what we're talking about. Yeah. So it's one of those things where that's why they play the game.
They do. That's why they're going to play it. And we'll see what happens. I mean, I just got a feeling that a storm's coming for Green Canyon.
Yeah, I mean, with Ridgeline getting knocked out and not making it as deep last year, they got bounced a little early. Spanish Fork bounced them.
Yeah.
And everybody was a little bit surprised, certainly, that they lost. But then everybody saw how well Spanish Fork was playing against Crimson at state championship, only see Crimson come back. I mean, every season writes its own story.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we won't be calling a game from up there at Rice-Eccles Stadium today. Did get a state championship last Saturday with the Cedar Reds, though, so that was nice for Southern Utah, specifically Cedar City and surrounding there, as they had never won a school title in football in their 75 years of existence. So that was cool. We'll crown 3 more state champs today. The early game again, Green Canyon and Ridgeline. That's 11 o'clock, KSLSports.com. You can live stream it or KJazz on the television coverage. The afternoon game is the 6A game, which is Lone Peak and Corner Canyon. And then the nightcap is the 5A game between the Orem Tigers you just mentioned and the Springville Red Devils, who have been playing some really good football the last couple of years.
Nice.
So those will be your football games on a Thursday to wrap up the state of Utah for the 2025 season. And we'll be off to 2026. Some breaking news from yesterday in Region 9 football. And this kind of, I mean, are you ever shocked anymore, Paulie? Do you ever really get shocked? Are you ever really just startled or surprised? I don't mean when you're watching a horror movie at the movie theaters, like where you're just in shock and awe. I think yesterday at Pineview High School, KJ Boyer got shocked. I don't think he saw the writing on the wall that Pineview was going to let him go yesterday.
I didn't see it. I was surprised.
You know, I think, you know, there's been 3 coaching vacancies, and the latest is, yes, Pineview High School decided to part ways and fired KJ Boyer yesterday. Fired is the word KJ used when I texted him last night to confirm the story. Because I said, hey, I'm hearing a rumor. I heard a rumor. What's going on over there? You know, did you resign? Is I think what I texted KJ last night. And he said, no, I was fired.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, these kids donate time and energy, and they don't get paid a lot, and they work with other people's kids and probably sacrifice time away from their kids. And I hate it when I see a coach get fired, especially one that was really good to me, and I loved our conversations I had with KJ Boyer over the years.
Right, yeah.
You know, I dug a little bit deeper, and KJ just said, I just said, hey, thanks, Coach, for all the access over the years and coaching kids up, and I'll miss our chats. Thank you, kind of. And he said, hey, love chatting with you. He said this one really caught me off guard. Like I don't think he saw this coming.
Wow.
And it kind of makes you wonder what led to that decision. And I last night, by the time I found out, I have not had a chance to reach out and get any kind of comment from Pineview High School athletic director or principal or anything of that nature. So we'll work on that. But this is fresh news. I found out, what time did I send that text to you guys last night? Maybe like 9 o'clock or something?
Yeah, it was pretty late.
Yeah. So that's when I heard about it.
It was 10 o'clock.
Was it 10 o'clock last night?
9:49, yeah.
Yep. So, you know, some breaking news this morning. I don't know, I'm sure a few people in town word travels fast in St. George. I know there was an email that went out and whatnot, so I'm sure that's going to get out a little bit more today if you hadn't already heard. But that means, 3 new coaches in Region 9 football at minimum next year.
Yeah.
Snow Canyon's Mike Esplin stepped aside. Now that one I think was kind of like, I'm done. I'm walking away from the game. I gave it 11 years. My kids have all come through high school. I think that was kind of if not mutual, more Mike than it was the school saying you're done. From the best of my knowledge, that was kind of seemed like a smooth transition. They had a coach already.
Coach and waiting, it seemed like.
The defensive coordinator, Zach oh, my goodness.
It's all right. We'll get it towards the middle of the year, hopefully.
Taptalele.
Yeah, you got it. There you go.
I just had to think about it for a second.
Okay.
Coach Taptalele. So it's going to be interesting to see. I wonder a little bit of it. I wonder, Desert Hills is about 2 weeks ahead in the hiring process now where Pineview's just making the decision.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if that had an impact on the decision to move quickly. And I don't know. I'm sure there was some heat on KJ Boyer this year, having, the senior class that he had, good running back, good quarterback, good tight end, probably the greatest tight end to come through St. George since Doug Jolly. if not better accolades.
Probably better.
Yeah. So, I'm sure there was pressure to make a deeper run in the playoffs. I'm sure there was pressure to win more games. But I hate it when I see a coach let go that, makes what I don't know if people realize coaches get like a $3,000, $3,500 stipend.
Yeah.
It's a lot more time than that'll ever add up to.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even want to break down the math on what that is per hour.
Yeah, right.
Might be a nickel an hour, maybe a penny an hour.
Yeah,
they just stopped making the penny, so they need to round those stipends up a little higher.
There you go. Yeah, all those weightlifting sessions, film watch. It's not just practicing games, like team dinners. Like these guys do pour their heart and soul out into the programs, and the wives, the families of the coaches feel the effects. Of course, they're out a lot of late nights, a lot of long weekends, watching film, getting ready for next week. So it is kind of hard to. I mean, because we work closely with these guys, we communicate with them, during the football season, almost a weekly basis. Yeah. So it kind of feels like you lose a friend. It kind of feels like a friend is kind of out of the picture, and it's sad. It kind of does bring a somber tone to the beginning of the show today. Because yes, like you say, 3 coaches, Coach Taps, Coach Esplin, and now Coach Boyer. So it has been. I mean,
let's be conservative. This is a problem in Utah. But let's be conservative. Say the coach's stipend's $3,500. Okay, say they just work a 40-hour week. I think it's fair to say that a high school football coach is putting 40 hours into the program a week. We know it's probably 80, but let's be. So that's over 13 weeks. Say the season's 3 months for an average team. So you take your 3,500, you divide that by 40 hours a week. We'll say for 13 weeks, that's 520. That's about $6 an hour. If they just work a 40-hour week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I think they probably, between the bus rides and the film study, a Saturday morning, walkthrough, Sunday they're all getting together, team stuff, coaches are meeting.
And,
I think it's probably closer to, $2 an hour or less. By the time coaches might come out of their own pocket in some cases to coach football at the high school level. And I think that's a Utah problem. That's a lot of states' problems. I know Texas and California and some of these other bigger states where they put 15,000 fans in the stadium. They pay their coaches $100,000+ a year, and it's bigger business. And I don't know how they do that. I guess ticket sales, apparel. Yeah, maybe they have. Maybe their high school merchandise is a hot seller.
Spirit wares are going hot.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that. But the stipend for a football coach. And here's the thing: I'm not discounting any coach, but football coaches a little tougher, I think, than other coaching because of the amount of size of the program. For one, you could have 100 and something kids you're in charge of. Where in other sports, I don't want to make fun of golf, but the golf team, they might have 7-8 guys on it.
Yeah.
Right.
A little easier to get to know those kids, coach those kids, get those kids to and from.
Yeah.
But basketball, too. That's a small team.
Yeah, but you look at the freshman and the sophomore team and the JV team and all in. At least there's 40, 50 kids probably. There could be 40, 50 kids in a basketball program where there's your
freshman
your
and JV
boys
coach,
and girls
though?
golf team might be 20 people.
That's right. But don't you have a freshman and JV basketball coach? And the varsity just handles his 12, 13 guys.
Yeah, but if you're building culture and you're doing it right, you're in charge of the whole program. Like, you oversee everything. You're setting the practice schedule. You're helping those coaches with rosters. Yes, you're not coaching X and O's on the court, but you're there supporting. It's still your program, and you're grooming those kids to play for you. So I know what you're saying there, and so that does minimize it even more. So I think, but you have, think about 100 plus kids in a program. It makes
the football a lot bigger paradigm. You're looking at most of these teams have at least, just varsity. I'm not including JV and freshmen like you are with the 100, but varsity, you're looking at least 60 players.
Right.
60 to 65, maybe 70 on some of these teams. And you're managing all those guys, school academic life. You got to make sure they're academically eligible to play football. You got to make sure they're in class. They're good kids. And
that's the thing that's interesting to me when you look at coaching in today's era. We're seeing a lot of the older coaches say, I'm done. I'm done. Some by choice, some by not getting it done.
Sure.
Look at the LSU situation. You look at the Alabama situation with Nick Saban, and the list can go on and on and on. And so, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's a perfect solution. I just hate it when we lose coaches that donate so much time, so much energy. And look, everybody wants a winner.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a winner. Every high school in town wants to win. Utah Tech wants to win. SUU wants to win. Weaver State wants to win. Every college program wants to win. Their coaches, their players, the administration, everybody, the fan, everybody wants a winner. But not everybody can win. What's it take? What are you willing to sacrifice? Well, right now, the biggest sacrifice you got to make is how do you keep a good culture with the portal jumping year in, year out, with guys just going wherever they can get the highest paycheck. That's very difficult to create and hold and build and continuously rebuild and re-recruit year in, year out. Used to be you could recruit a kid, you landed him, you got him for 4 or 5 years.
That's right. And that is trickling down to the high school level. I mean, I don't know how many times in media day yesterday I heard a kid say a move-in or a kid that moved from another school. Or,
yeah.
I mean, it is happening in high school in Utah. Kids are transferring just to find better situations for themselves. Let's just call it what it is.
I don't know that that's increased.
It has. Since I've been here, it's increased.
I think COVID is what started the increase, though.
Okay.
Because teams from other states, Washington, California, neighboring states, Nevada, they wanted their kids to not miss out on playing their high school sports experience. And so they moved.
Yeah.
People just moved. And I think that's kind of what got the ball rolling. And then, yes, all that stuff has a factor. It's a variable, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Mason Landick. Do you remember Mason Landick? Kid from Washington State.
The basketball player, right?
Washington shut down basketball. His family moved to St. George. He ended up playing basketball here because he just wanted to play.
Yeah. That's right.
We've had
talking about the kids
We've
in
had
town.
other kids leave and go to California to play. Remember Bowen Hammer, the kid from Snow Canyon? He took off, went and played for a prep team and left St. George. People move all the time.
I get it, but moving from school to school in the same city is a little different than moving from Washington State into Utah.
Yeah.
There are kids going from Dixie to Desert Hills to Crimson to Pineview. There's a lot of kids transferring.
Well, and there's kids like the Malone kid out of Hurricane.
Yeah, go to Utah Prep and then come to Hurricane.
Not eligible.
He can. I know. He wanted to, though. That was
denied.
the plan. That was the plan. But, I mean, a lot of these kids have moved from other schools in Region 9 to other Region 9 schools is what I'm saying.
I don't like penalizing the kid, but there's decisions you make in life, and they have ramifications. And I don't know all the details on that transfer from Prep to Hurricane and why it got denied. I mean, he's going back to the school he should have went to anyway. I don't know all the details on that. So that one's beyond my pay grade. I got to have more facts before I get into that. But yes, Paulie, people are moving all the time, which makes it even tougher on these coaches. And so, you think about how many hours, you think about the endless work, and Mike Esplin and Coach Taps at Desert Hills and KJ Boyer at Pineview, all those guys, deciding or being asked to resign or not come back or just downright fired. I mean, it really sounds like Coach Esplin was kind of mutually parted ways. He let people know this is it for me, and I'd heard those rumors, before the season started. And, he didn't want any fanfare, didn't want to talk about it, he wanted to focus on the kids, and I can appreciate that. I think Coach Taps and Coach Boyer were both let go, and I don't think they saw it coming. I think they were both blindsided at Desert Hills and Pineview.
Yeah.
Although, Pineview was a top 5 seed in the RPI. They had a bye and then a home playoff game. I know they lost that playoff game to Skyline by a couple points, but Desert Hills lost in the first round and was one of the lowest seeds into the football tournament. I think it was, Pineview had a little bit better record this year. If it was just simply performance-based, I think that's probably why Coach Boyer maybe felt like this caught him off guard a little bit. Yeah, where Coach Taps, I can kind of see it. Worst season Desert Hills has had. He'd been there 3 years, and they'd gotten worse every year.
They hadn't really progressed.
I mean, if you're just looking at strictly from a win-loss record, understandable, I guess, even though I still hate it. And and
maybe Pineview felt they had a chance to win that Skyline game. Maybe that was a game they thought they should win, and maybe that was 100%. One of the factors in the decision.
Yeah.
So the regular season I felt like went pretty good for Pineview. Like you said, they were a team with a home playoff game, a bye, everything like that. But maybe that Skyline game was a bigger factor in the decision than we're leading on here.
Yeah.
Because that was a lower seeded team, and you probably weren't expecting to lose that game, with the senior class that Pineview had built up for years.
Yeah, I'm sure that could have been the tipping point.
It could have been.
Yeah.
That's
and
all
look, until
say.
We can get.
And we don't know.
And that's the thing about high
speculating.
school sports. You don't normally get. It's not like college where the AD makes a statement and he meets the press. And I mean, really, it's an at will. Nobody has contracts. It's year to year coaching.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to make tough decisions, and you get to know these coaches. I feel like I got to know Coach Boyer. He was alumni of Pineview. He played there for Pineview.
Yeah.
People liked him.
I feel like he was well liked by his players and the fans and the alumni and.
So a lot of change, but look, I mean, sometimes you have to make change. I mean, Hurricane made changes, and look what Jerry Cowan has done in 2 short seasons. He's revitalized the Hurricane Tiger football program.
He has.
So I think you have to look at it from the other side of the equation and say, hey, maybe we just need a fresh voice. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong decision here. I'm just saying caught Coach Boyer off guard. It's some breaking news, and he is no longer the football coach at Pineview High School. And it's going to be interesting. Because one name out there that I heard had put in for the Desert Hills position and now maybe would put in for the Pineview one is their former coach, Ray Hosner. Coach Hosner is doing better health-wise, and I think I have not talked to Coach Hosner myself, but I've heard that he's interested in maybe getting back out there and coaching again. And obviously he was at Pineview before Coach Boyer. So I don't know if that's something that maybe had something to do with all this, thinking that maybe the timing was right to maybe Pineview thought this is just Devin guessing. Maybe they saw him apply or heard he'd apply to Desert Hills and thought, hey, we don't want to have our longtime coach that we would love to have be a part of our program forever. Who's kind of still been helping behind the scenes with Coach Boyer. Go somewhere else and coach. I don't know if that had something to do with this or not. I have no idea. Only time will tell, right? So, breaking news today. Hate to see it. Shout out to Coach Boyer, Coach Esplin and Coach Tabbs for everything that they were able to accomplish. All the kids they coached, all the time they donated away from their family to coach other people's kids, and for all the access they gave us to their players and coaches and programs. So that's really it. But a big storyline because we are going to have 3 new coaches next year in Region 9. 3. All right, going to be a busy show today. We've got Cole Bagley later in the show. We got Lee Sterling later in the show. We've got some turkey shoots to give away, some turkeys. Thanksgiving is 1 week away. We've teamed up with Palmer Litigation, and we've teamed up with our friends over at Digby Market. And so when we want call, in fact, we can take a caller right now. We can take a caller right now and get the turkey shit going. It's really easy. You pick up your phone, you call us on the hotline, and the Findlay studio line is 435-990-9950. 435-990-9950. What's that number, Paulie?
435-990-9950.
And then what do our listeners have to do, Paulie?
Say shoot. Say shoot.
You say shoot, and you see what you win. It is that easy. We can take a winner in the break too. We do need to get to a break. We'll take some live calls maybe a little bit later on in the show. But we are off and running. Throwdown Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Fan Sports Network.
Welcome back to The Drive on The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. We are live, Finley Hyundai Studios on a Throwdown Thursday morning. 1 week away from Turkey Day. And let's give away a turkey or at least a gift card to Digby's Market. Let's see what we can do here. Blair, good morning. Thanks for holding on the line. You ready to do the turkey shoot?
Morning, fellas. Let's do it.
Let's go, it, baby. Let's go. All right, man. Here we go. You have one job to do, and that is say shoot when you want the wheel to stop. If it stops on the gobble, you win the turkey. Here we go, Blair.
Let's go. Shoot.
Okay. Blair, did you buy a turkey yet? I hope not, because you just got a free one.
Hey, I love it. Let's go, boys. I love it.
Let's go.
There it is.
Blair, come over,
Blair's
get
big
your
winner.
Turkey gift certificate. What are you watching this weekend? What are you watching now through Thanksgiving, man? What's on Blair's TV when he's watching sports at home?
We got a lot of good games on TV. We've got BYU this weekend and Utah, both good games. But, hey, we're watching local high school basketball this weekend, boys.
There you go.
Let's go.
That's one of our people.
Yes. We are going to be we had our Region 9 Media Day. Thank you, Blair. Thanks for calling in. Come get your turkey gift certificate. All right. He's heading over to Digby's Market, compliments of Palmer Litigation. We had our high school basketball media day last night. That was a lot of fun. And, man, oh, man, the parity this year could be there. I don't know who to pick. Paulie and I think we both ended up slightly going with Pineview as our preseason number one team in the ranking, and that's kind of who ended up being the preseason number one yesterday. Mm-hmm. But Dixie, Crimson, Hurricane, and Pineview really close in all the voting. 1 through 4, I don't think really people know how to slot those teams in until we get out there and play games.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a little bit of a proving ground early. This non-region play will be a good sample, but I don't think we'll truly know who's going to be the cream of the crop until we get into region play. I think it's going to take that long to determine who's the top dog. Just so many teams vying for that top position. I think Caden said that in our poll we had 4 teams that received first place votes.
Yes.
So there's a lot of
Dixie, Hurricane, and then you had Pineview and Crimson that one coach or one member of the media at least gave first place vote to. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot to. We're gonna go through. Our media day coverage. We've gotten savvy, Paulie. We've gotten savvy. We know people don't necessarily.
Yes.
Our diehard fans that maybe work at a computer, that might be different. But most of our fans don't have 2 hours to go watch our whole media day. So we broke it up for you yesterday. We got it all posted as individual teams. So if you wanted to go watch your favorite team, you can. If you want to go see who the all-region performers were in the last segment with our sports panel from the Fan Sports Network, you can. It's all up on our YouTube page. Links are all up on our website, thefansportsnetwork.com. We put the links out on our social yesterday afternoon, and our 2025-2026 high school basketball media day from Nets on Fire yesterday has dropped. It's on demand. You can go watch it. We will play a snippet. In fact, we'll play a little snippet right now, and we'll probably just go in order in which we had the coaches and players on yesterday, and we'll have the Crimson guys in, and McKay Lindquist was tabbed as the preseason MVP. Now, being the preseason MVP and then being the actual MVP is a couple different things. Everybody that wasn't tabbed the preseason MVP is like, I got something to prove, and McKay has something to prove too. People think I'm really good at basketball. I got to have a good season, and he had a good junior year last year, and I wasn't sure. The first 4 people that I put on my ballot, okay, for the preseason MVP, the first 4: Brigham Kemp, McKay Lindquist, Colin Simmons, and Jelani Ojegba. Those were the first 4 that I had listed, and I don't even remember if that's the correct order. I'm just throwing those 4 out there, and I wasn't sure. I thought one of those 4 guys would be tabbed as the preseason MVP. Maybe even I thought Travis Murdoch had a shot, Reggie Mackey maybe. But those are the four that I would have said, yeah, one of those four is probably going to get it. And it was really tight, the voting.
Yeah.
Came down to tiebreaker scenario. Caden figures all those formulas out. I have no idea. He just said it was a really close vote. All those guys were listed on every ballot. So congratulations to all the first team or second team. We did a first team, a second team, and a preseason MVP. But like I said, it's not where you're at in the preseason poll that matters, right? It's where you're at the end of the season and what you do in the state tournament that matters.
Where was Hurricane?
Hurricane was tabbed fourth.
I mean, in last year's poll, they were down the list a little bit, and they made the longest run of any Region 9 team.
They were tied for second in the region. There was three teams at 8-4 last year.
That's right.
Crimson won region, Pineview, Hurricane, and Dixie. I think we're all 8-4 last year. And it was a tough year for Cedar and Desert Hills and Snow Canyon.
I'd love to find that preseason poll from last year and see where Hurricane was.
Well, let's pull that story on St. George News.
Okay, I will pull it.
Because Eric writes a story on it every year. I'm sure it's in the archives.
I'll find the archives. I'm really interested to see
Tara,
that.
let's get a stopwatch. This could take us some time. While we're letting Paulie check the archives to see how good the combined media and coaches poll played out to actual facts last year. Let's hear from Coach Murdoch and the Crimson Cliffs captains that joined us on set yesterday. Well, we were live at Nets on Fire. This is about a 9-10 minute segment for all the teams, give or take a couple seconds. We are starting our high school basketball coverage tonight, and we will continue it tomorrow. We've got one game tonight at 7:30. That is the Crimson game. Then tomorrow we've got Snow Canyon at 5, followed by Canyon View. Yeah, for all our Canyon View fans up there on 93.1, we're going to do that Canyon View game for you. And then we'll have that big tilt, that late game with Pineview and Provo. And those will all be live streamed. Radio coverage tomorrow night will start about 6:45 for Utah Tech basketball. Finally, Utah Tech back home again. They play Noble University tomorrow night at the cozy confines of the Burns Arena. And then Paulie, Saturday, Utah Tech football down at Greater Zion Stadium getting ready for Eastern Kentucky. And, some seniors going to be maybe putting the helmet on for the very final time. So
yeah, it's going to be wild.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I did find what I was looking for.
That was under a minute.
Yeah, it was.
I'm proud of you. Yeah.
Yeah. The last year's order went Crimson was picked to win Region 9.
And they did.
The Flyers were in second, Desert Hills third, Pineview fourth, Hurricane found their way in fifth, and they made the deepest postseason run, which it matters way more than winning region or anything. So. Yep. That's what I would say for the teams that were picked lower in the region in our preseason poll.
Motivation.
Yeah, motivation. And
Locker
it's
board material.
Not where you're going to be slotted at the end of the year. It's just a preseason projection.
Yeah, no question about it. Anyway, always fun. I don't know if people enjoy these. I get a little feedback from the coaches and some parents of the players that, hey, that's really cool that you guys do media days. But I don't know if the vast majority of people realize that radio stations don't just go around doing media days at the high school level in other markets. This is kind of a fun little thing we created, 12 plus years ago, and we've kind of kept it rolling. And we've thought about expansion. One year we did a girls basketball media day, but then I just opened up a can of worms, and I got more bad publicity than good because everybody wanted us to do every sport, and we just cannot do every high school sport media day. I would spend my whole year just orchestrating media days basically for 9 months out of the year. So, and a lot of the spring and the winter and the fall sports all start at the same time, give or take a week or so. So it's very difficult to do that. So we've just kind of focused on the games that we broadcast. We did at the very last segment, talk about the girls basketball season and do an all-region preseason team, and we had the coaches fill out the predicted order of finish for you. So we do talk about that in the final segment if you want to go to the YouTube or the fansportsnetwork.com. All right, here is the Crimson Cliffs live from Nets on Fire yesterday, kickstarting our 2025-2026 high school basketball season media day. Region 9 basketball media day. We're back at it again, and obviously rolling from fall sports right into our winter sports. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist, Caden Formaster here from the Nets on Fire basketball facility, and we've got all 7 Region 9 coaches set to join us, select players from each team, and at the end, we're going to, after we hear from all the coaches and players, we're going to have our panel look at the preseason poll, and we're going to have our all-region preseason teams for boys and girls. So stick around for that a little bit later. But let's jump right into it, and let's bring in the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs and Coach Murdoch. Coach, if we can start with you, give us an overall preview for the Mustangs this year. Tell me what you've been up to this summer, and tell us what to expect from your team this year.
Yeah, we got a great squad coming back. We got 7 seniors, so we're pretty senior-heavy. They all know how to play. They're all going to get a ton of minutes. They've all been great leaders. We've played a ton of games between March and now, so we're prepared, we're ready to go, and we're excited for the season.
Introduce your guys. I'm going to give you the honor, Coach. Tell me a little bit about each one. Introduce who you've got representing the rest of the Mustangs.
These 3 are my captains this year. So we got McKay Lindquist. He's our 3-year starter on varsity. He's our leader by example. So he does all the little things in practice, and guys follow him. So he's going to be a very important part of our team this year, both offensively and defensively. We've got Britton Phillips. He's our energy guy, so he's just on the floor. I mean, he's going to go a mile a minute. You're going to have a hard time catching up with him. But he's a great defender on the perimeter, can guard multiple positions, and he's just a great leader. And we got Travis, and he's okay. So he's all right. This is second season starting on varsity. You'll see him guarding a lot of the key guys, key matchups for the other teams. So you'll see him taking on that role. Just a great passer, good IQ guy, and just does really anything you need him to do to help his team out.
Coach, I was just going to say, you're a senior-heavy team. I mean, you guys have 7 seniors that are going to be working in this rotation. Tell me how important it is to have these guys that are just a little more experienced in life, let alone in basketball.
Well, it's great because they've been playing, for a long time. But also, we kept our guys together this spring and summer, so they've been playing together for a while. So they didn't go off and do other things. So they've been playing together since March, and so the chemistry's there. They know each other very well. So it's gonna, I think, play to our advantage.
And my question is for Trav. So I've played on a couple of teams where a son and the coach were father and son, and I'm always curious, like, what's that like? What's it like around the dinner table? I mean, does it carry on after practice, or how have you been able to handle that? Because it's been, 2 or 3 years at least that you've had coach as dad too.
Yeah, it's like crazy to balance, but I like it. Like when my dad's my coach, he's my coach, and always like extra hard on me, but on the court, but off the court, like we love each other. Like when he's off the court, he's my dad, so it's like a good balance for sure.
His mom is the biggest critique, not me.
What I want to know is, he still have to do piano lessons at home?
Yeah, I do actually.
Really? Okay.
My mom's made me stay with it.
All graduates high school.
Let's bring in Mac and also Britton. Britton, just put the shoulder pads away and right to the gym. How's that transition been, changing sports so quickly?
Yeah, it was definitely a quick transition, going from that semifinals game to then the next day having our Gatorade game. But it's been fun being back with all the boys. Really missed these guys during football season, so glad to be back. Favorite
sport is whatever you're playing at that moment?
Yeah.
All right. Any love from the recruiting process in football? You had a good year.
Yeah, nothing big right now, just D3. But other than that, just glad to be back at basketball.
Let's bring in Mac. Mac, take me through the summer. Coach said you guys played a lot of ball. You were all over the country. How's the chemistry in the offseason that will translate to the regular season once you get to your high school games?
Chemistry's better than ever. We're not just teammates on the floor, but we're best friends. I think it's special that all 7 seniors, even the juniors, we got a lot of juniors that we're all friends, we're all best friends. So I think it translates straight from off the court onto the court.
What's the main shoe you're rocking this year? I'm just curious. What do you got in the closet ready to go?
A lot of Kobe's. Got lucky on some drops this year, so, gonna have to pull those out.
Let's bring back in Britton or Trav. Does McKay have the best shoe game on the team, or does somebody else get that title?
I don't know. I feel like it's either me or Mac. We're like, I don't know. We're dedicated in the shoe game. We always got like either new Kobe's, new shoe coming out. We know what's coming out. So You'll see us. You'll see us in the court rocking some Kobe's.
It's not very often they're wearing the same shoe. I can tell you that. I don't know where they get the money, but I will say this. I got a little preview of the Crimson gear on Saturday. I think they may have the best gear in the region this year. They've gone to great lengths to be fitted up. Pretty good. We ought to have that team too, the all gear team.
I like it. We'll go to Britton here for this one. Tell me a little bit about this team. What do you say is this team's identity? A lot of people might say it's size, it's speed, it's defense, it's shooting. Where do you feel like your guys' strengths lie as a team?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be a quick transition team, lock down on defense, get the ball out quick to our shooters, and then if the shot's not there, drive and kick and make open shots.
Go back to Coach for just a second. Coach, tell us your third year. Is it easier now? You got a couple years under your belt, and tell us about the schedule. You mentioned we haven't talked about the schedule, but I saw your quote in the Des News that you feel like you got a pretty tough schedule this year.
Yeah, we feel we've got one of the best schedules. Honestly, we see a lot of teams from 4A, some teams from 5A. Mixing a 6A school here and there, but we're up to the challenge. We felt we had a pretty good schedule last year, and that's the biggest thing with us, trying to get the best seeding and going into the playoffs and RPI and all that stuff. So we definitely feel we have a good, solid schedule that will, kind of challenge us each night.
Now, Coach, you do have an opportunity to go up to Cache Valley and play a bunch of 4A schools from Region 11. Tell me about that trip that you have coming up and what you guys are looking forward to accomplish with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun trip. These guys haven't really played up there a whole lot in the 4 years they've been in the program, so this is a good opportunity for them to kind of see those teams. Green Canyon, they've been semifinal or final games the last few years, so they're a really good program. Ridgeline is going to be really good this year. Skyview's always really well coached, so it's going to again challenge us and kind of see what's up there for the tournament style, kind of going into the playoffs. But yeah, it's going to be a good opportunity for us to kind of see those teams play.
Trav, talk about some newcomers on the team. How's some of the role players coming along, some of the underclassmen? Is there anybody we should keep an eye on early in the season that have been working their tail off in practice?
I don't know. I'd say you got Alex. He's one of our big guys. I mean, you can maybe see him on the court a little bit. He's strong. He's really tall, a little taller than Britt. So if we need him, you'll see him on there. We also got Baden. He's also like a lengthy, 4'3". So you'll see him in the minutes.
Who's winning in practice? If you guys are running lines, who's the fastest? Who's taking the pride and always finishing first?
It's usually Mac. I'm not gonna lie.
Right,
Mac or Will.
All right.
Brett
hasn't been there yet.
He's football shape, not basketball shape.
Oh, got it. Okay, he can go one up and back.
Yeah. He's taking care of the bench press. I love it. You guys chomping the bit? You ready to go, Trav? I mean, season starts tomorrow for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know, we're for sure ready to go. We've been grinding out in practice these last couple weeks, so I'm excited. It'll be super fun.
Coach, final thoughts before we let you get out of here. Anybody on the bench or anybody that these guys mentioned that's going to maybe have a chance to pop into the rotation we should keep an eye on?
No, I mean, like I said, we have 7 seniors. I mean, can't start all 7, but, Will, Trey, Sands, Easton, they're all going to contribute very, very well this year. So no, they said it all. It's going to be fun. We might have different lineups each night depending on matchups. So it'll be fun.
Mac, I wanted to go back to that Pineview game that ended your season last year. How much you thought about it? How much is the motivator for you and your teammates getting ready for this year?
You think about it, every practice, but you can't dwell on the past. You can only use it as a learning experience. And now we know better now. We know how to react. We know what to do in those situations. So, we don't dwell on it, but we only learn from it now.
We'll have Mustangs, our first broadcast of the year, tomorrow night. They're playing inside the Desert Hills tournament. So we'll have that tomorrow night live on the Fan Radio and the live stream. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night, and best luck. And, Coach, thanks for bringing the guys over. And, guys, thanks for representing the rest of the Mustangs.
Yeah, thank you.
Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, and we're off and running. Our 2025 Basketball Media Day continues after a quick break. Dixie Flyers drop by next.
Yeah. What's going on, Southern Utah? That was a little snippet. That was what we did yesterday for about 2 hours as we hung out at Nets on Fire and had the Region 9 basketball media day. That was the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. But if you want to see, your favorite coach and select players from that team, go to our website, thefansportsnetwork.com. Links are right there. You can go to our YouTube page, subscribe, just search the Fan Sports Network, and you can watch all of the Media Day coverage, just the team you want, or you can check out the panel and hear kind of the recap at the end with the boys and girls rankings and preseason all-region teams. Paulie, how would you summarize yesterday's Media Day?
I would summarize it as succinct, great answers from the players. The coaches, I like the new thing this year was the let the coach describe each of his players and let him kind of describe each guy instead of us open up the questions to each one. We kind of took a minute for at least a few of the coaches.
A couple times I did that,
a few of the coaches to go and give some nice words about each of their captains and the guys they brought. That was a cool thing about Media Day. The other thing I took away from the actual content of Media Day is that I think that these teams are going to be really, really close. I think that there will be a battle at the top till the very end, like last year. Could have another multiple team tie at the top. It might be one of those years. So I just think that it's going to be a really compelling year of basketball, and it starts tonight.
Couple things I wanted to get your hot take on.
All right.
The MLB got a new deal done yesterday. We just came out of a big blunder with YouTube TV and Disney. And because they reached a deal, nobody really talked about it. They're like, oh, cool, ESPN locked up MLB. Did you see the headline? Did you see the ESPN? Major League Baseball officially secured their new TV deal with ESPN, NBC, and Netflix.
I saw Netflix will get opening day and a couple other big...
The Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
The Field of Dreams game will be on Netflix.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple highlighted games, signature games, and the Home Run Derby. That's big.
You got to give Rob Manfred and his team some credit for getting this done, though, and avoiding a big, maybe $1 billion blunder. Like, we heard reports that ESPN was losing, $5 million a day minimum with not being on YouTube TV, and YouTube TV was losing money daily, and subscribers were pausing their service, canceling their service. So that kind of slipped through, and you don't have anything to worry about because they got that deal done. It is official. Browns will start Shedeur Sanders.
Yes, I saw that. Yep.
So
Gabriel's still in the concussion protocol, so... Yeah, we're going to roll them out.
Who had, it will take 11 weeks for all three Cleveland Brown quarterbacks on the week one roster to start. And if you had that on your bingo card, bingo. You win.
That's right.
Paulie, maybe you should pick him up. You need a QB for your fantasy, right?
I got Joe Burrow.
Did you see
Joe Burrow's another headline, Joe Burrow's a full participant in practice.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and he's on my team.
And Jamar Chase is suspended for a game.
That's right. He's still got T, so I'm not worried.
Yeah, I don't have
Joe
T.
Burrow's getting the start.
I don't have T. Higgins on my fantasy team. Jamar Chase is benched. And I already have Marvin Harrison out in that league. So that really...
Look at this. I play you this week in the players only league. It looks like a free win. It's a bye week.
Yeah. What's the projections?
57% for my team.
Yeah. Have I set my roster yet?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm not worried about your roster, though.
Yeah, right.
Michael Penix officially out for the season. Kirk Cousins the rest of the way in Atlanta. Lane Kiffin continues to dodge questions about his future yesterday.
Ultimatum's coming 8 days.
Yep. He said that was completely false.
I know. He said that's false, but it's being reported by On3, which is a reputable source.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So those are a couple to wet your whistle. We'll get you some around the water cooler headlines when we come back. We'll get you the top 8 at 8. And then still to come, Lee Sterling, Cole Bagley, Knights Mammoth game. We'll preview that a little bit later tonight.
Big one.
We'll do some more turkey shoot. And if you want to win Jazz tickets, we're going to do some Jazz trivia coming up the next hour. About 8:20, we're going to do some Jazz trivia. So if you want to go to a Jazz game, what is it, this Sunday, make sure you're listening here in just a bit for Jazz trivia. All right, hour 1 of the books, hour 2 coming up when we come back to the Findlay Hyundai Studios. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive, Hour 2, coming straight into your car stereo, coming at you on the mobile app, free download, coming at you on our website. You can always hit the Listen Live button at thefansportsnetwork.com. And just a reminder, if you're just jumping in your car, tuning in for the first time this morning, we had our Region 9 Basketball Boys Media Day yesterday. It is all out on our YouTube page, as well as links up on our website. You can watch it by team, or you can watch the recap with the Fan Sports Network panel and hear all the preseason awards. Good stuff. A lot of fun. We had a little snippet. We'll play a couple more snippets of some of the coaches dropping by each day through next week. But the season starts tonight, Paulie. High school basketball. Yes, you have the 3 state championship football games in 4A, Ridgeline and Green Canyon. In 5A, Corner Canyon and Orem and Springville. And then in 6A, Corner Canyon going for the three-peat. I heard a rumor that job might be opening up. Corner Canyon job. That would be a pretty coveted job in the state of Utah, would it not? And, they play Lone Peak. So those will be the matchups up at Rice-Eccles Stadium starting in 3 hours from right now with that 4A championship game. And I said it yesterday. I said it earlier in the show, but kind of a little bit bittersweet. I mean, love hanging out with y'all on a Thursday morning, but I think we would have all loved to be heading up the freeway right now to do a state championship game and watch 3 trophies handed out. And then we could have stuck around and caught the Knights and the Mammoth game tonight, and then made our way back to St. Jorge. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
You like that one.
St. Jorge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. El Jorge.
Yeah.
There
the
you go.
George.
Yeah, I like that.
The George. We're coming at you, the George. We've got a busy sports weekend nonetheless, and it all starts tonight. We really get the party started tonight with high school basketball. Pretty much everybody is in action to start this. We had some games start last night. Last night was like the first game across the state. But all of our local teams are ready to go. And I got the sense that some teams are more prepared early in the season than others. I mean, teams that made football runs deep, it's obviously, Crimson Cliffs, Britton Phillips has had, 3 practices at this point in time?
No.
3 practices. Hard to imagine that he's in great basketball shape. I mean, I know he's a wide receiver, and I know he runs routes, but basketball conditioning is different than football conditioning. Anybody that's played at the high school level in football and then went into basketball knows what I'm talking about. And, look, it's going to take a week or two. We were talking with Coach Monks about Dylan Crowley, and he's like, no, he's going to foul out. He's going to foul out in the first couple games. Watch. Because you go from being physical, hands-on, football is football, and then you can't touch anybody, and you're going to, charges and blocks feel like nothing in basketball, right? So here we go live tonight. Just a quick rundown. Here's the 4A games tonight that you've got. Snow Canyon plays Bountiful. You've got Cedar at Providence Hall. Mountain View is at Desert Hills. Wasatch is at Crimson, and that is inside the Desert Hills and Crimson Cliffs tournament that they're hosting. And that will be live on the Fan Sports Network. That'll be our first broadcast tonight.
Yeah.
Green Canyon and Hurricane. That looks juicy to start the season. And then Provo-Dixie. How about a top 5 matchup? Provo is number 1 in the 4A rankings right now. Flyers get a crack at them tonight inside the Coach Walk Classic. That game will be played at the Hangar, though, at Dixie High School. And then Manti and Pineview is your nightcap tonight at 9 o'clock. So, and then tomorrow we'll be bringing you a triple header inside the Coach Walk Classic. So just one broadcast tonight. That's the Crimson Wasatch game. Yeah. But tomorrow we have Snow Canyon at 5, followed by Canyon View, followed by Pineview and Provo. That's the one I'm really interested to see is how does Provo do against Dixie and then Pineview. And Pineview and Dixie, that we'll get a common opponent in the first 2 days of the season, the first 2 games of the season. So tune in tonight for our Boulevard coverage of high school hoops with football ending last week. We are already off into basketball. We normally don't have games before Thanksgiving, but with them moving the Coach Walk Classic with no state championship broadcast today, possible for us to do some games today and tomorrow. By the way, the games tomorrow will, I believe, just be live streamed because we do have Utah Tech basketball tomorrow night on the radio. They are at home at the Burns Arena against Noble University. Meanwhile, Utah Tech football, senior day, noon pregame on the Fan Sports Network, 1 o'clock kickoff down on campus at Greater Zion Stadium against Eastern Kentucky. SUU is on the road on Saturday to wrap up their season at North Alabama. So those are some of your matchups going on around town, and a look at our kind of busy broadcast schedule for the next couple of days. All right, some other headlines. Mentioned Knights and Mammoth tonight. That's a big one.
It is.
7 p.m. Mountain Time.
What is the line on that game? Is it a pick'em? Is it a tight line?
Let's take a look. I haven't surveyed that. It looks like minus 105 for Utah, minus 115 for Vegas. So pretty tight either way, pretty much even money. They think it's going to be a close game according to the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The other thing that we broke first hour, but if you're just tuning in, you missed it. KJ Boyer has been let go as head coach of the Pineview Panthers football team.
Yeah.
Confirmed that with KJ last night, and I guess they'll open it up, and the search will immediately begin. And that means 3 new coaches. Snow Canyon had already hired Zach and Coach Z as they call him. Tatalele. And then you have Coach Taps that was out at Desert Hills, and now Boyer out at Pineview. So we're going to have 3 new...
Some turnover.
And 2 new hires. You got to imagine they probably want to get those hires done, probably before the Christmas break, right? You got to open it for a couple weeks, and then you got to go through the interview process and narrow down the list, and then maybe do another round of interviews, and then hire the next coach. And, some cases you can move quicker, in some cases slower, but I'm sure... with the Thanksgiving break coming, I don't think you'll see Desert Hills or Pineview announce anything till after Thanksgiving, but I think you'll probably have those announcements before Christmas.
I would say before.
That's a pretty
Christmas.
wide
Good
window,
timeline.
right?
Yeah.
Pretty wide window there. The other headline locally is, and I kind of think she got snubbed, Lottie Smith is your 4A Player of the Year. She set the single-season record, past her sister, Heidi Smith Wilstead, now at Snow Canyon for the goals. 25 goals. She had 59 in her career. Okay, she had 25 goals. Miss Soccer was a girl from Green Canyon. Take nothing away from Chloe Sadler. She had 19 goals and 19 assists in only 15 games for Green Canyon. So that's really good, but she didn't win the state championship. Lottie Smith scores 25 goals, and they win the state championship, and she doesn't get Miss Soccer. She settles for a Player of the Year, which is still great. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, wait a minute. Why is she not Miss Soccer? Paulie, never mind. I'm not going to ask you this. Yes, I will. Paulie, would you rather be Miss Soccer?
Oh, wow.
Or the Soccer 4A Player of the Year?
Miss Soccer.
Okay, Tara, would you? This is probably more apropos. Would you rather be Miss Soccer or a 4A Player of the Year? Because Miss Soccer is listed first.
Right.
Chloe Sadler from Green Canyon, and then they list 4A Player of the Year, Lottie Smith.
Okay.
Yes, I think the
So,
Mr. Mrs. title.
It is, yeah.
You would agree?
I would agree.
Okay.
Miss Soccer first.
Yeah, I just remember Jonathan Allen was Mr. Virginia for football, and that was the coolest title ever. You are Mr. Football in the state.
So Lottie got snubbed.
Yeah, snubbed.
She scored both their goals in a 2-2 draw, and then they won in PKs. I think she got snubbed. And still, she's 4A Player of the Year, and she's already committed to Southern Virginia. The 4A playoff MVP, they have a winner for everybody. Share the love. I love this. This is according to the Des News, and this is by James Edwards. The 4A playoff MVP, Tori Martin, goalkeeper, Snow Canyon. So there you go. The rest of the first all-state first team in soccer, Macy Woolley, Crimson Cliffs, 27 goals, 5 assists. That's a good season. 27 goals. Woo. Veronica Weston, 239 steals this season. Ava Gubler, Snow Canyon, 255 steals. And Mackenzie Lovell, Snow Canyon. So that's your Tess Peterson, also first team All-State. Second team All-State, you had a couple of Desert Hills players on there, Torgerson and Ellie Heaton. And the list is all up if you want to go check that out. Go check it out. So Miss Soccer and the 4A All-State Soccer Awards are out. Any other headlines, Paul, you want to get into?
Let's see. I thought I saw one that was pretty pregnant.
You thought you saw one?
No, not now that I'm looking at it. It's more of a top tweet type thing, more not a headline.
Gotcha.
So we'll go away from it.
We did mention, Shedeur going to start. Michael Penix Jr. is, out for the season, so Kirk Cousins is going to start. There's the Lane Kiffin situation, continuing to dodge questions about his future yesterday, but he did say he expects to coach Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. He denied that he'd been given an ultimatum.
Yeah, he denied that on the McAfee show.
But he's denying or dodging questions, which is right, but it makes you wonder what's
smoke,
really
there's
going
fire,
on.
Baby. Right?
There's smoke, there's fire. Connect the dots. I like to do that a lot, so, you know.
Yep. Tonight, NFL, Bills at Texans.
Yeah.
Intriguing Thursday night game for you, Paulie?
Not really.
No fantasy implications, Paulie?
No
Josh Allen, no James Cook, no nothing?
I don't think so. I don't have a Texan either.
Bueller? Tara, any fantasy implications for you in
Yeah,
this
I've got
game?
Houston's defense.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to bench him against Josh Allen, or are you going to roll him out there?
No, I'm still going to roll him.
She's rolling him.
Roll him. No C.J. Stroud. He's still in concussion protocol, although he did return on a limited basis to practice.
Hey, Mills has been doing a good job in his spot, though.
I know. He almost helped you beat me.
He did.
Almost.
He's been doing good.
He is good. He's not good, but he's playing good.
Yep.
How can you not be good but play good?
You can bottle it up for a few games. Davis Mills has been a starter before, and he was not good.
One final score of college basketball from last night. I'll give you two.
Okay.
Number 4, Arizona.
Yeah, watch
over
some of this.
Number 3, UConn, 71-67. Another great basketball game in college hoops last night.
That's right. That was a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I watched a good portion of it. I agree. Arizona's good this year, and UConn is good too. They just beat BYU by 2.
Arizona starts 3 freshmen too, so if they can manage those guys and they don't go to the NBA or go to the portal, we could have something being built by Tommy Lloyd down there.
Tough trip for the T-Bird basketball team and Coach Jeter. SUU, got hammered by Gonzaga in the Kennel on Monday, and last night in Pullman. At Don Friel Court, they got beat 98-74 by the Washington State Cougars. Hey, you're going up there, and you're getting a paycheck. You're getting some guaranteed money to go play those games, I'm sure, which really helps the program with costs and things. But it drops SUU to 1-5 and 0-4 away from home. SUU was predicted to finish last in the WAC. Things are not exciting right now yet for SUU and Coach Jeter. Since Todd Simon left, they have declined, to say the least, Paul. Is that a fair assessment of SUU basketball?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. So those are a couple other scores. Utah Valley also beat UC Irvine last night up in Orem at the UCCU Center, 79-72. So there's one other notable score there. All right, those are your headlines. What's going on around the water cooler? Let's do this. Do we have trivia?
Not
okay. We don't have
enough.
Trivia. No. That's all I needed to know.
We only have one so far.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Turkey.
We're gonna do the turkey shoot.
Yeah, there we go.
We need a caller. I want to see, we gave away. Blair won a turkey earlier. We'll see if we can give away another turkey. Compliments of our friends at Digby's Market, and Palmer Litigation. They've teamed up with us to give away some turkeys leading up to Thanksgiving. We call it the turkey shoot. We got a little spinning wheel. All we need is a contestant. So who's got us in speed dial right now? If you want to win a turkey for Thanksgiving, if you have not bought one yet, you might want to call us up, 435-990-9950. 435-990-9950, the turkey shoot. I don't want to forget about our normal show sponsors too. So we're waiting for a caller, 435-990-9950. Want to thank our normal show sponsors, Coral Canyon Golf Course, Wilkinson, St. George Tent Shop, Color Country Custom Coating, Finley Hyundai, our friends at Wilkinson's, Game Day Men's Health. They've got free testosterone tests for the guys out there helping you look and feel your best. And if you're a vet and you need Yeah, they can get your testosterone for the first month for 50% off to celebrate Veterans Day all month long. So take advantage of that. And then, of course, we appreciate Prime IV as well. They're super powerful drips. Great for the athletes out there. All right, we're going to take a winner in the break because we got to clear some time because we got Lee Sterling, we got Cole Bagley, we got a lot coming up. So we'll take our winner in the break. We'll be right back on the Fan Sports Network. It's The Drive. Good morning, sports fans. Hey, does anybody want to win Jazz tickets? We got a pair of Jazz tickets. Paul, do you want to give away some Jazz tickets on the show today?
I do indeed, yes.
Let's do some Jazz trivia.
All right.
We need a contestant. If we get a contestant, I mean, maybe people are scared of Paulie's Jazz trivia. I don't know. People could be frightened by Paulie's Jazz trivia.
That's right.
This is not Paulie's Chat GPT trivia. This is Paulie digging in the archives, coming up with Paulie's own trivia, Jazz trivia.
All right, I got them ready. So we just need a caller here. You want to go to a Utah Jazz game? Give us a ring right now, 435-990-9950. I've got the questions. Hopefully, you've got the answers. So let's get a caller here. This is a big giveaway, right? You know?
No, these
great seats, right?
Yes, 100% lower bowl, mid-court. maybe 15th, 20th row.
Yeah.
We're the Fan Sports Network in the Drive is not sending somebody up to put hard-earned gas money in their car to sit at the very top row of the upper bowl at the Delta Center. These are great seats, Paul. Great seats. I've sat in these seats before.
I know.
They are terrific seats. They're actually some of the best in the house, if you ask me. You're not too high. You're not too low. I mean, like, if you want floor seats, you want floor seats. But I like to be able to see everything unfold. You're close. It's a great spot. Great spot. 435. Do you want to try a little Jazz trivia? If we don't have any takers, then
we'll wait.
We'll wait. Yeah, we'll wait. Paul, the waiting is the hardest part.
That's right. This is painful.
All right. This game is Sunday. So if you can go to the Jazz game Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, 435-990-9950. We also are given another pair away on our social media. Have you seen? You just tag a friend. You like the Fan Sports Network on Instagram, and you're entered in the drawing. The more people you tag, the more entries into the drawing you get. We're going to draw for those tomorrow on the program. Now, maybe we'll do a little bit of trivia a little bit later on in the show. But these are great Jazz seats for Sunday's game. And love the effort I'm seeing out of the Jazz. Even in that loss the other night to the L.A. Lakers, the Jazz gave a ton of effort. I know they ended up losing 140 to 126, and the defense is a little lackluster. It was LeBron's debut. You're on the road. They had the lead for, 2/3 of that game. And they got to learn how to, finish and play a full 4 quarters at the NBA level. But this is a young team, and a lot of guys getting experience. They're actually winning a little bit more than the prognosticators thought, Paulie. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they've already got more wins than you and I probably thought they'd have this deep into the season.
I think they're pacing well ahead of their projected total. So, yeah, they are way better than I thought in this stage of the season. Not to say they can't have a long losing streak in the middle. Every team has lulls and highs throughout a year, but yeah, it should be interesting to watch.
All right, let's do this. We got Lee Sterling going to jump on with us, and we'll circle back and we'll get a contestant later for the Jazz tickets. In the meantime, if you do want to go to the Jazz game, make sure and go and like us and tag a friend at the Fan SN on Instagram. At the Fan SN, like the post, share it, tag a friend, and you're entered into the drawing to win Jazz tickets for this Sunday. We're going to give those away on social media, and we'll do a little trivia later in the show, or maybe even tomorrow. We'll give those away tomorrow. We got 2 pair. We're sending to the Jazz game on Sunday. Stick around, Lee Sterling, breaking down some winners when we come back on the Fan Sports Network. Firing it up, everybody. Welcome back. 8:27 on the Fan Sports Network. Good morning from the Findlay Hyundai Studios. Devin, Pauly, Tara hanging out with you, and now joining us on the hotline, the hottest guy in the business, Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com, dropping by yet another winning week on Saturday and Sunday. He's on a 33-11-1 run in the National Football League on his picks the last 9 weeks. Lee, good morning. How we doing a week before Turkey Day, my friend?
I am great. I am real good. Looking forward to going to have the turkey bake-off where my two daughters, they bake the pies. One oldest makes a banana cream, the youngest the huckleberry pie. But a little twist I found out a couple days ago, I think we've talked about this yet, but my son-in-law and my youngest daughter's boyfriend, who she lives with, they want in and they are baking a pie together, and they won't tell me what it is. I just told them one thing: no lemon meringue. That's the only pie I don't like. I like everything else. So they're entering a mystery pie into the pie judging contest for Thanksgiving. So you'll be able to see it. Probably put it up about 4:30, 5 o'clock your time on Twitter and also TikTok on Thanksgiving night.
I'm going to take a wild guess. It's a Marionberry pie. That's my guess.
Ooh, I like anything with berry. They know that. They do know that.
Yeah.
They might do something chocolate. I know they're both chocolate lovers, so they might do chocolate. I have a feel maybe like a Reese's peanut butter chocolate. I don't know.
Okay.
Oreo cookie. I think they're going to go a different route here, but they got a pretty strong game, those two. They got a lot of confidence. They just they want me to put up odds, and they have installed themselves in as the favorite.
Oh wow. What's the book think about that?
Nah, it's gonna be tough to knock off. I mean, if it's close, I got to give it to my two daughters. I mean, let's be honest.
That's right.
It used to be unbelievable. So I think they used to, my wife used to, I think they started when they were 7 and 5. They're now 28 and 26. My wife used to help them cook, and I'm not allowed in the kitchen. And I do remember the first couple of years, whenever I would pick a winner, the loser would go up to their room and cry. Sometimes the youngest one would cry for hours until we came and got her.
Oh my goodness! You don't have competitive daughters, do you?
Oh yeah. Well, the oldest is more competitive. The youngest is, she's the actress, so she can cry. The spigot just opens up when she wants to cry.
Gotcha. Yeah, she's got that on standby if needed in the back pocket. I love that. Well, we're going to have Lee on next Wednesday, right? Lee, next Wednesday going to work for you? So we won't be doing it.
What time are we going to do it?
Same time, if that's good with you. Yeah, same time. Next Wednesday with the Thanksgiving holiday. Lee's going to enjoy the day off. We're going to enjoy the day off next Thursday, so we won't be in our normal spot. But let's get to today's picks, Lee. You're red hot.
Yep.
We got some college games of note here, and then we'll get to one NFL game plus your game of the week. And let's start with this is an interesting with me. This seems like a lot of points to me. This is Oregon favored by almost 10. I think it's 9.5 right now against a top 25, pretty good Maeva-led USC Trojan team.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. So last couple years, USC, their defense was Charmin soft. I mean, you could run right through them. This year, against 5 teams tough in the trenches, I think you'll agree with me, Notre Dame, Michigan, Iowa, Nebraska, and Northwestern, they held up well. They won 4 of those 5 games, just only one lost on the road to Notre Dame. So both of these quarterbacks are good. They never took their game to the total next level, and that's why they're in the predicament. They have to win out. Both teams do. If they want to get into the college football playoff. Now, Oregon used to have receivers that, they could just take the top off the defense. 3 of the top 4 guys since the beginning of the year are out. And I think that's the difference with this offense. They don't have – their running backs, they do break off some big plays. But they don't have that big strike capability like they've had when they have those great teams here. I think the line should be less than a touchdown. I think Oregon escapes 28-25.
28-25. That's number 7 Oregon, but number 15 USC with the cover.
All right, Lee, next one, we're going to go into the Mountain West here, and I don't think many people expected this to be as big of a game as it is, but it's 7-3 Hawaii traveling to Allegiant Stadium to take on 8-2 UNLV. UNLV laying 3 here. What do you think?
Yeah, and Hawaii 2-2 on the road, which isn't bad for them. UNLV needed a Utah State missed field goal, both to get to overtime and win in overtime. Hawaii has played some good football this year. Special teams could be the difference, and if that's the case here, Matsuwana, their kicker for a Japanese kicker, 22 for 22, taught himself by watching. Did you hear about his story with YouTube?
No. I did not.
Watch YouTube videos and learn how to kick. Well, everyone should do it. He's only 22 for 22 on the year here. I like Hawaii. I think they get the win here, 34-31. This is a team under the radar. A lot of people had some close losses, but playing some good football. They may not have to stay in Hawaii for the Hawaii Bowl this year.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we're moving on. We got Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Making picks for you here on the drive. We've been doing this for almost 10 years now. Utah Utes. They only got 2 losses on the season. 1 to BYU, 1 to Texas Tech. Big favorites against K-State, Lee. 17.5-point favorites.
Yep, and Avery Johnson, quarterback for Kansas State, is going to have the whale of a game. He's without his top running back, top receiver, and their offense just dried up. I mean, how about last week? They managed to win 14-6 against Oklahoma State when they were +4 in turnovers. And Chris Kleiman, I had a lot of respect for him, but he said, I think he termed it wrong. I think he what he meant was something different, but he said, quote unquote, I'm not apologizing for a win in Stillwater because it's dang hard to win here. Well, Earth to coach, OSU is 0-5 at home this year. Versus Division I teams. They lost 3 other Big 12 hosting games here by 18, 22, and 32 points, and was 0-4 in the Big 12 home games last year. I think Utah is going to. I mean, they need a signature win here. They need to win big here. I know they have their athletic director on the committee now, but all these teams, you got to lay a couple extra points if you want to take them, because that's just the way it is. You know, they know that it's a must-win, and also they got to look good, need style points. I think they lay it on Kansas State, 38-13.
38-13, roll Utes.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, next one is another sighting on Big Noon kickoff for the BYU Cougars. They'll be traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bearcats. Right now on the road, Cougars laying 2, I see.
Yeah, and Cincinnati's defense has not been great this year, but this might be a great setup game here. So their quarterback, Sorsby, can really sling it. They have 3 transfer receivers here. Their defense was terrible last week. They allowed Noah Fafita of Arizona to complete 23 for 31 for 294. Bearcats D torched in back-to-back weeks. But the offense is still elite here. And I like Sorsby here. I think there's a tough matchup here for BYU on the road against some really good receivers. Shootout here. I think Cincinnati wins this game here 36-34.
Wow.
I'm taking Cincy here. I think they're the right side.
Wow. Yep. Total in this game is 55, and you're predicting even more points than that one in this shootout. Right. Cincy defense is that bad against the run and the pass, huh, Lee? They can't stop one, take one element away, so that's going to be a big day for the Cougars' offense. Could be a shootout there if Lee is right. Yep. So this would actually give Utah a little hope to get in the Big 12 title game.
Yeah, it would. would swing the door open.
Yeah, because you got Utah winning and BYU losing. You got Texas Tech winning this week. I know that's not a pick, but everybody knows they're going to win, and they're going to keep winning, right?
Right.
What do you?
Not even close.
Side note before we go to the NFL and the game of the week and whatnot, but what'd you think of the playoff committee there with all the excuses they had for Notre Dame and Miami getting left out, BYU and Utah really not moving up much there in the rankings?
So here's the thing. I'm a Miami fan, obviously, and I have friends around the country who have different teams they like. I think in the end, the bottom line is if you win, it's pretty much going to work itself out. So if you're like Miami, if you win by double digits against Virginia Tech and you beat Pitt on the road, I think they'll be in. I don't think there's any question. I don't think they're going to be able to deny them. It may not. Don't worry about Notre Dame. Just got to worry about yourself. Same with Utah. Same with BYU. Problem for BYU is, as opposed to Notre Dame and Miami, they had a bad loss, and it wasn't just they lost. They weren't even competitive in that game. They looked terrible. The score isn't even indicative of how bad it was. So I think that's what hurts them. So we'll see. It's just worry about your own. If you win, pretty much them and Vanderbilt, BYU, Utah, almost all those teams will be in. There's going to be a couple teams that go down. Trust me. Always happens.
Yeah, there is. There's no question. There's still a couple big weeks to go. And it's just interesting, like, what is the committee looking at? Like, what is strength of schedule matter? Like, I don't know. Sometimes
that and head-to-head.
Yeah.
If it comes down to head-to-head, I think Miami's going to win against Notre Dame. But got to win.
Got to win. All right, one NFL game to get to. That's the Seahawks. Yep. They are looking to bounce back. Not a great performance for Sam Darnold last week. Still had a chance to win the game. Long kick, no good there. They do cover against the Rams by a point last week, for that matter. And they go to Tennessee as big favorites. Tennessee never wins at home. I feel like Nashville is for opposing fans to go have a party and have fun and watch the team win.
Yeah, the Rams D just have something on Sam Darnold. I mean,
I know.
He was terrible in the wild card game. He threw 4 interceptions last week, no touchdowns. Worst game of the year since that wild card game. Seahawks, they moved the ball well, had a field goal chance from 61 yards that was obviously missed to win the game against, I think, what is a borderline very good to great Rams team. This Rams team might be the best team in the NFL. Titans averaged the fewest points in the league, 14.3, and their only win came against the downtrodden Cardinals and the biggest fluke, or one of the biggest flukes we've seen this year. Seattle is top 5 in sacks. Titans allow the most sacks in the league. Cam Ward, only 6 touchdown passes all year. No games with more than 1 touchdown pass. He may get his one here, but given their general offensive futility, this could be the ceiling here. I'm going to go for the max here on Seattle, 33-10.
33-10, Seahawks winning it. Game of the week this week, Lee. It's the Thursday night game tonight. You see something in that Bills-Texans game that you like?
Yeah, I not like love. So you want to get involved with Bills and Texans tonight. Really good tilt. Big game for both teams. I'm both sitting in second in their division. This is a must-win for both teams. They want to get in the playoffs. Just call 800-400-9741 first. 5 callers. I'm going to give them the Bills and Texans for free. So if you're looking to start your week off on the right fashion, just call 800-400-9741 to get Bills and Texans on me. A lot going on this weekend. Wow. So NFL, we've been king. 33-11-1. The last 9 weeks in the NFL, that's 75%. I don't think anyone can touch that record. It's called Lee's NFL Sunday Golden Ticket. 5 selections every single week. Just $197. Lee's NFL Sunday Golden Ticket. UFC card, rare losing week last week. We were awful. No excuses. We were 1-5, stunk out the joint, but we still won 18 of the last 24 cards. This is what I'm going to do. 5 selections. It starts early, 8 o'clock in the morning, your time, from Qatar on Saturday morning. Normally $55 for 5 selections. Once in a while, we put it for $25. How about this? $5. That's right. You heard me correct. $5. It's our Super Saver deal in the UFC. 5 selections, $5. I just want to make sure you have a pulse and a credit card. $5. Check out that UFC special right now, ParamountSports.com.
All right, there you go, Lee. Hooking it up, $5 for UFC. You have been red hot. I've been tailing some of your NFL picks. It's been a good season in the National Football League. Keep it rolling this weekend, buddy, and we will talk to you next Wednesday.
Sounds good. Take care. Be safe.
Be safe.
Thanks,
Lee
Lee.
Sterling, the one and only, live on the drive. We got to take a break. When we come back, a big hockey game tonight. We want to break it down. Cole Bagley going to stop by the show. Knights at the Mammoth, part 1 of that I-15 feud. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. We'll talk with Cole when we come back and wrap up the show. Stick with us from the Finley Hyundai Studios. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is the Fan Sports Network Morning Drive. Devin Dixon, Paulie Ratliff, and Tara Atkin. We are just rocking today on a Throwdown Thursday. Little sad we're not doing a state championship high school football game. This is the first time in 17 years I'm not broadcasting from the University of Utah. So we'll be watching KSLSports.com or KJazz, which is a bummer because me, Paulie, and Tara wanted to go up there, do the game, and then stay for the hockey game tonight at the Delta Center. We got a big matchup, Knights and Mammoth.
Yeah.
And Cole Bagley dropping by the show. And Cole, good morning. How we doing on a game day, buddy?
Oh, it's always a good day when you get to go to the rink.
I love
We're doing well.
I love it. Do you think you'll see a spattering of Knights jerseys tonight, or do you think there'll be quite a few Knights fans in attendance, or will it be all Mammoth fans tonight?
I think you'll see a good amount of Knights fans. With Vegas being the closest team for a good amount of time,
Right.
There's a lot of Knights fans in Utah, and they really haven't converted quite yet to being Mammoth fans. I don't know if they ever will. Based on last year, I would say that, between Colorado, Vegas, and a handful of the original 6 teams, those are probably the strongest visiting fan bases. So I would expect a good amount of Vegas fans in the Delta Center tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to the game, I would be wearing my Knights jersey. No question about it. If I was not working,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
would
Not
be
working, right?
No, but he said it correctly. Like
Yeah.
I latched onto the Knights. I've been with the Knights for 7 years. I got so wrapped up in them. I mean, if the Mammoth would have been here first, I would have been all in on the Mammoth.
That's right.
But the loyalty has been laid, Paulie. The loyalty has been laid. But Cole, when you look at this matchup tonight, what's the biggest storyline that you're looking for between the Knights and the Mammoth?
I mean, I think for Utah, it's you got to get a win. They have not beaten a team in regulation other than the Buffalo Sabres in almost a month. And so that needs to change. And, for Vegas as well, I don't think the season has quite gone the way that they had anticipated. Obviously, bringing in Mitch Marner, I think they're looking for an upgrade.
Yeah.
That's a move that I think Vegas was looking at going, hey, we were a pretty good team over the last couple of years. Obviously they won a cup not too long ago. But they're looking to become cup contenders again. So they brought in Marner, and through the first month or so of this season, they've just been okay. So I think for both teams, it's not a must-win situation, but it's an opportunity to start to pick up some momentum here as the season gets into a little bit of a fragile state. There's a weird thing in the NHL where usually the teams that are in playoff contention by American Thanksgiving are the ones that end up being in the playoffs. So it's early, but both these teams need to start winning more hockey games.
That's right. And you say just okay, Cole, and that's a good way to summarize your tweet that I really thought was a great one from you. Honest question, why does Utah wait until the puck goes in to play with juice? And that is a great question. It seems like they kind of sleepwalk a little bit through that first period. Forecheck's not as aggressive. What is the diagnosis on your end of why they start so slow, Cole?
I just don't know if this team is dialed in. I don't know if that 7-game win streak just kind of got to their heads and they thought that they could cruise, through this season pretty well. And then, they came back down to earth. Reality kind of punched them in the mouth. And I just don't know if it just seems like they're a little bit rattled right now. There's a lot of things kind of going not overly wrong. It's not like disaster type situation, but there's enough small things going wrong right now, which I believe is adding up to why this team just isn't winning games. Logan Cooley and Dylan Gunther have significantly cooled off. They combined for 24 points in October, and now they only have 6 through most of November. Obviously, there's still a week to go, but that's just not good enough, especially when Cooley just signed the biggest contract in Mammoth history. Obviously, that's a short span, but he's going to be the highest paid player going into next season for the Mammoth. And, he hasn't been playing up to par as well. The goaltending has just been very poor. The collective per save percentage right now is .871. You are not going to win hockey games if you're at that level. I mean, you're hoping your starter is above 900, and then you're hoping that your backup is, low 8-9s. And there's a couple other things. So, I don't know, that one's a hard one to kind of diagnose, effort and energy or just something that a team has to choose to play with. And right now it just doesn't feel like the Mammoth are doing that for 50 or 60 minutes of a hockey game.
Right. And you talked about Logan Cooley with that big contract, but Nick Schmaltz seems to be the team leader this year. He's having a great year so far, leading the team in points, goals, assists, everything. So what does Logan need to do to kind of step up and kind of, match Schmaltz and bring this team winning in regulation and not going to overtime, even though they do get a point?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the silver lining over the last couple of games is, it's obviously frustrating to see them lose. And especially, I think the manner in which they've lost the last three, really leading late, allowing a goal to tie things up, and then eventually losing in overtime is tough. But like Bill Armstrong said yesterday, of the last 8 points that they've, played for, they got 5 of them. So, that's why this team it's not quite panic time yet for the Utah Mammoth. They're still picking up points. They're still in playoff contention, but it is a little disheartening the manner in which, they've only won 2 games over the last 10. So that's where things need to turn around. As for Cooley, I really do think it just comes down to confidence and consistency for him. When he started a little slow, and then obviously he just went on an absolute heater. I think he had like 14 points in 8 games.
Right.
Was scoring left and right, got a hat trick, was, stacking up assists. It's a tough thing. He's in his 3rd full season in the NHL, but he's still only 21 years old. So
right.
I think there's still a little bit of a learning curve. I think there's still, he's figuring out how to play consistently. And once he does, I think the sky's the limit for that kid. But right now, there's obviously still a challenge in terms of, maturity and just learning how to play really, really good hockey every single night.
And Cole, another really young, bright star for this franchise is Dmitry Simashev. And I looked, and obviously he was out against the Sharks. Coach said it was for load management, but I kind of read a little deeper into this. Only 1 point and assist through all these games. Is this more than just load management, or do you think he just truly needed a mental day, like a break, a day off?
I think I would lean mostly towards load management. This is his first year in the NHL. He has far and away surpassed expectations playing on that top pairing with Mikhail Sergachev for most of the year. And with a condensed schedule, this is like the NHL on steroids. Like these guys are playing so much hockey, and I could attest to that because I've got a report on it every night. And if they could maybe cool off on these back-to-backs, even though they're not, they will not be. I think they play. I think through Christmas there's a hockey game every other day.
Wow.
So, it's because of the Olympics. They're having to fit more hockey in because they take 3 weeks off. So,
right.
For Simashev, I do think it was mostly load management. He's a young kid. It's his first year. He's played a lot of hockey, and he's played really well. I mean, obviously the offense is not quite where it needs to be, but that's okay. As I've kind of outlined before, I think what a lot of young players do, especially young defensemen, is they try to be more than who they are when they come into the league. And a lot of times that can really harm their development and that can harm their ability to pick up confidence and to play their game. And, Simashev, he's very much a defensive defenseman. His where he excels is in defending against the puck and in his own zone. Now the offense needs to come, but I think Utah's okay with where he's at right now. Cause if he's going to play this good defensively, he's still an incredibly talented, young player. He's a guy that's going to be part of your organization for a long time. But once the offense clicks, I think he has the potential to be a number 1 defenseman, not the number 1 defenseman in the NHL, but a number 1 defenseman for an NHL franchise.
Cole Bagley, KSL, writer for KSL, covering the Utah Mammoth. They host the Knights. Knights are a good road team. Mammoth have been a way better team at home on home ice than on the road. The books in Vegas, the odds makers have this, minus 110, minus 110. So it's pretty much just pay the juice. It's pretty much a matchup that's pretty even on paper, at least right now, for betting purposes. Cole, give me an X factor. Give me something inside the game that you think can ultimately help each team win the game. You got something for each side on this one tonight?
For Utah, it's Logan Cooley. I know we've talked about him a lot, during this segment, but when he gets on the score sheet, the Mammoth are 7-3.
Wow.
They're almost 8-2, but obviously it was very strange just how that game ended the other night in San Jose.
Heartbreaker.
And obviously against the Ducks. But yeah, they're 7-3 when Logan Cooley scores, and so for me, I think he's one of the biggest X factors for this team. He's one of the highest impact players. When he is flying out there, the Mammoth win hockey games. So I'm going to say Logan Cooley. On the other end, to be honest, I haven't watched enough, Vegas Golden Knights hockey this year. Mostly just clips and whatnot. So I'm not entirely sure. But if Jack Eichel can go out there and dominate the ice, Vegas usually doesn't lose.
Yeah, Dorofeev and Barbashev have actually been better than Eichel in the most games, and Marner has been
call him Scorofeev.
Yeah, Scorofeev around here. Yeah, and they know. Cole Bagley, everybody, KSL. Can't wait to see what you write up after the game tonight. Thanks for the time. I know we love having you on the show, and we'll have you on again throughout the season, buddy. And thanks for hopping on a Thursday morning. Enjoy everything tonight up there at the Delta Center.
Thanks, Cole.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you, Cole.
Cheers, guys.
All right, Cole Bagley.
Have a good one.
KSL. Give him a follow on X.
Yeah, that is
at
Bagley KSL Sports. BAGLEY KSL Sports on Twitter.
Yep, good stuff. Paul, one of his follows, right?
I'm a diligent follower.
Yeah.
I was reading quite a bit.
I am
He also he does have a podcast for anyone that wants for any more hockey content. He's got the Utah Hockey Pod he does with Michael Wolf. So that's something I wanted to get that plug in for him while he was still on, but just missed.
Yeah, well,
it's okay.
It's all right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Texans in the NFL tonight.
Yes.
And then the Bills, and then the Knights and the Mammoth, and then you've got the 3 high school state championship games, the 4A, the 5A, and the 6A. 4A starts at 11, 6A is at 2:30, and then the 5A is the nightcap up there at Rice-Eccles Stadium. And then all of our Region 9 basketball teams on the boys' side fire up their season tonight. All 7 teams are in action. And we'll have score updates throughout the night, and we will be bringing you our first basketball game tonight, 7:30 from the field house at Crimson Cliffs. They'll play the Wasatch Wasps. The tomorrow we'll be a triple header inside the Coach Walk Classic, and that'll be Snow Canyon in their game, the Canyon View's game, and then Pineview and Provo, that game. So we'll have 3 games all on the live stream for you tomorrow. Paul, you and Caden, Tara, I know you're going to be over there back and forth with the game in the studio, but we got the whole crew ready to go. I've got Coach Lance Anderson going to join us on the show for the final football game of the season. He'll join us tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. Don't forget Juddy and the basketball team. They've got a basketball game tomorrow night against Noble University at the Burns Arena. All right, thanks to Lee and Cole, and thank you for making us part of the drive. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a good one.